Friday morning. It's always a good way to kick off Friday morning when you start with the Ninjala anime episode and coffee. It's only right. It's the natural course of the world, you know? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all the core gamers out there. CAJ Man 777 here, and welcome back to another Ninjala anime discussion. From episode 7. Today we're going to be doing episode 7. We're going to be doing what we normally do here on the channel. If you guys haven't watched any of the Ninjala anime, I got a whole playlist talking about it. I talk about the actual episode, I talk about the lore, I talk about everything, because the way they've established the anime is really good. So, I really don't want to waste too much time with this. So if you guys are, of course, enjoying the Ninjala content on the channel, or other content on the channel, please do me a huge favor and like and subscribe. It helps the channel go a long way in the future, and if you get the opportunity to share any of these videos with your friends, please do, because that's another way we can continue the channel growth, and I appreciate everything that you guys have done over the last few months to help the channel. So thank you guys so much for that. The other thing I want to mention before I get started in this video is I want to apologize for how long this took to get out. I'm actually recording this portion of the video on Monday, compared to when I usually record the actual discussion. I usually do it right after the anime episode, but work last week for me was very stressful that I only actually ended up getting to record my anime reaction. And I didn't actually get to do the discussion, so I apologize for how late this is. And the other thing is that Elden Ring has been consuming my soul off of making videos, so there's that. It's a good game. It's a good game, but we're not here for Elden Ring. Put it aside for now. Today we're going to be talking about episode 7 of the Ninjala anime, and this is a cute episode, and I think it's interesting because we get more look into the WNA Academy life that a lot of the main characters had that we never really got in the Ninjala game. Obviously, the Ninjala game, the focus is really around the battles, but outside of that, you don't really get bits of story aside from the ones on the loading screens in the actual game. So the anime obviously aims to change that, and in this episode, this is a big focus with all the kids finally in the academy, as was established in the last episode. This is like day 2 of when everybody's in the academy and they're ready to go. And it starts off bright and early. Kappei of the Shinobi Village. Oh no. 7 a.m. Wake up! And not only does it start off with, of course, a very interesting alarm clock, but then we get some interactions with all the characters getting ready. So we get more character interactions that we have never seen before. Obviously, Van and Kappei still have their rivalry as they head right out to go to the cafeteria and have breakfast, basically, in the WNA Academy. It is the funniest scene, and the way they animate it later with them going absolutely ballistic is really funny. But I really like the interactions between the characters that they have actually in the beginning scene here, because you get a lot of interactions that you've never seen before. You get obviously Van and Kappei kind of hanging around each other. You get Emma, who established was, wants to be good friends with Lucy. Lucy's kind of still very distant, very quiet, and Lucy just kind of goes off on her own thing. But then you get the interaction between Emma and Bereka, and I think it's really interesting, as Emma actually walks into, knocks on Bereka's door, basically, in the academy, and Emma goes, "What are you doing, Bereka?" And Bereka ends up saying, "She's moisturizing. If you don't start now, you won't finish it until you're 20. Obviously, that's a joke, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Bereka's actually 18 when she's an adult, so, yeah, so there's that reason. So you get a really nice interaction between Emma and Bereka that you never got before, and they kind of establish more relationships with the characters, and that's consistent throughout a lot of these episodes. Well, that was quick. This is cool. Oh my god. And this whole beginning scene really establishes like the character relationships in general. And when it comes to Kappei and Van sitting at the table and Bareka's asking, "Hey, where's Burton at?" This scene made me laugh. And then, of course, when Bareka actually gets to the roof and sees Burton, I just want to say it right now. This shot, when Bareka goes to the roof and sees Burton, this shot is absolutely stunning. The way they did the drawing, like, as Bareka walks into the frame, you can really see there's, like, it almost feels like there's 3 different shades of light as she walks toward the left end of the screen with Burton kind of meditating in the center. And it's so well done. The light, if you see the light source is in the background and it's super bright as the sun, and obviously it's on the roof of the WNA Academy, but the actual, like, shot of seeing the light, like, go across the whole screen, not the drawn lights, I should say the drawn shading, it's not really the light, with the light being established on the far left side, and seeing it transition over to the right, this is the coolest shot to me, in the entire episode, when they have this little conversation here. Oh man, the lighting in the shot's actually incredibly good. That's such a good use of that. Well, something I've also noticed when it comes to these episodes as well is when characters are kind of like, camera, focus, thank you. When characters are like idling, when they have their idle animation, if you notice, they're usually standing in their like, I want to say what their reference sheet pose was. So you have Bareka with a hand on her hip and her hand down. You have Lucy. Kind of, again, the same way, her hand's a bit lower, on her hip, and she's got an arm down. Emma kind of has, like, both hands kind of, like, behind her back, but elbows out, with the jacket. And it's really interesting to see that they actually use the reference sheets on some of these shots. But anyways, that's me having animators' brain again, but it's a good thing. It's a really good thing, because this, again, it's not the highest quality anime in the world. It's not meant to be. This isn't Ufotable or Mappa, or the Wit Studio. You know, it's not any of the huge ones that have been big and, you know, have done really big projects. This is most likely a smaller team of animators, and they just do it. They've done a really good job of what they've had to offer. But as you go further into the episode, you get the scene with Burton and Bareka on the rooftop, and that kind of sets up the end of the morning. Then we get into the class, the class, and when they're introduced into the class, we get 2 new character introductions. And the 2 new character introductions, of course, are going to be Bruce and Amy. Now, Bruce just looks like this really cool dude, and he makes a lot of shinobi puns when Kappei asks the questions. But Amy's character design, I want to know who did the actual reference sheet for Amy's character design, because I think Amy's character design, as like an instructor for the WNA, that's one of the better character designs besides the actual main cast that I've seen in the anime. And there are some good ones, but whoever designed Amy was like, yeah, we need to make her like a kunoichi. And they really went all in with that. She's got like the jacket on her sleeve, kind of how Emma does, but it's not like fully up. it's the design is absolutely incredible when they even do a pan up. Like the crazy thing, they do a pan up shot when they first show Amy the instructor, and you can really see the character design showing through. And not only does she have red eyes, but she's also a ninja descendant. So like that's the pink looks really cool. Incredible character design.
まずは入学おめでとう。今日から本格的にアカデミーでの生活が始まる。君たち6人は私ブルースと後ろのエイミーが担当する。
That's a sick character design.
説明するとして。
先生も忍者なの？
もちのロンだ。
強いの？
バッチグ
ー。忍術も使えるの？
当たり前だのチョップ。
I almost just spit take my coffee. It's just a scene now. Bruce is like, okay, now a word about the life at the academy, and then everybody asks a question, and I think it's really funny because Bruce does not get to talk, and you can kind of tell he's annoyed based on what happens in the next scene. But he gets a lot of questions. Obviously, Kappei asks the first thing is if he's a ninja, and this is where the puns come in. And then after all the puns of freaking even Winjutsu, really? Winjutsu. Okay, the puns are there, but oh my god, it's so funny. All the characters are reacting really funny to how he makes puns at the end of it, but the very last question that gets asked really kind of gives you this menacing vibe. So, to put it plainly, Lucy asks, can we drop out of the academy if we want to? And I'm just gonna let this scene speak for itself.
他に質問は？
ここやめたくなったらやめてもいい？
大丈夫。そんな気は起きないわ。
Oh! Oh! Man, she gave off a more intimidating aura than Lucy! So yeah, Amy might have a bit of a, she seems very intimidating, to say the least. If Lucy, the craziest character out of the main cast, is intimidated, you know she's got something hidden up her sleeve. But I hope, maybe they'll explore that. I know she's not a main cast member. Maybe they'll explore Amy's backstory a little bit and explore what she can do, or we'll see what she can do later. Which is really cool. And as they're in the class, obviously, they're about ready to head out to the Ninjala battles when Genryusai shows up and he explains what the purpose of bringing all these kids into the World Ninja Association is. And basically what they do is they break down the fact that they send the ninja as representatives of the WNA in groups to different factions or countries around the world, and they are the reason that the world has like some of its peace treaties, some of its environmental, green treaties, whatever. Basically, the ninja are behind a lot of the stuff in the world, and if you really think about it, it really seems like they're establishing like that the world of Ninjala is an alternate reality Earth. To an extent, only the alternate reality is that ninja are, like, the big thing that has helped the world through centuries and centuries.
Ninja は WNA が契約した国や企業に派遣され、様々な任務に当たっておる。時に灼熱の熱帯を、時に極寒の極地を。その任務は過酷だが、忍者ならではの技術や体力を生かし、人類の進歩や平和に貢献するため、人目につかぬところで日夜働き続けておる。多くの平和協定も温暖化防止に対する世界的枠組みの合意も忍者の働きなくしては実現しなかった。現代社会は忍者が支えていると言っても過言ではない。
It's like an alternate reality. Really. But it's nice to establish the lore of why the WNA Academy exists, because if you're just saying, oh yeah, these kids just go to a ninja school because they're ninjas, what's the point of them going to a ninja school? What makes them special? And now we know why. It's to basically help the world throughout time and history, which they've done a fantastic job of. And then we get to the Ninjala battle portion of this video, of the episode, not even video. And we get Kappei and Van.
覚悟しろ。コテンパンにやっつけてやる。そっちこそぶっ飛ばしてやる。なんだこれ。
棍棒だ。忍者ガムは一本刀以外にもいろんなガムウェポンになる。
そうなの？
I thought this was a really cute scene because now all of a sudden, when Van blows up his ninja gum, it doesn't turn into an Ippon katana. It turns into a drill. It turns into the corn bat. And then basically Bruce explains that one piece of ninja gum can turn into whatever you choose. It can basically turn into whatever weapon. And then they go through all the weapons, and you see Emma pull out the board. You see Emma pull out the Popeye hammer. You see Van pull out the Cerberus, which he uses to fight Kappei with.
ミーもやってみよう。グレイト。
他にどんなのがあるんだ？
It's a board.
Skateboard.
お、
ファニーフェイス。
Oh, Popeye. Oh, the worst weapon in the game! You better not animate that again!
まだあるぞ。
僕って天才かも。早くしろよ。スニーカー。
ケルベロス。ハンマー系ガムウェポンだ。
ケルベロスか。これにしよう。
And it's really funny because in the middle of a fight, Van's like, I don't like this weapon. He throws it away, even though he gets protected by the Cerberus' shield, which it doesn't have a shield. It's like a healing field that can just push people away if you activate it right. So, on that one. But I think it's really funny that Van starts with the shoe hammer and just absolutely starts getting bodied by Kappei. And then we have this really funny scene where I'll just show you. Van is basically just pulling out all the weapons and he can't pick one. They're doing stills instead of animating it because honestly, sometimes that does save time, but that also means that usually in animation production terms, if you're running stills,
ありゃ、そんなの出るんだ。まだまだ。こっからだ。
we'll let this finish first. But I'll say, usually if you're running stills, that means the animation production did not have enough time to finish it.
簡単にやられるか。別の。これだ。どれでも一緒だ。
Nah, this is Van's basketball. This is where he's at home.
バーンにはこっちの方が合ってるみたいだな。トリックボールは一定時間相手を無力化できるガムウェポンだ。
I love that the weapons in the story have lore as well. Now, I was wondering how they were all going to use or start their main weapons, and now we know how, and I think that's really cool that Van obviously is the first one to really have his main weapon besides Kappei, who uses, like, Ippon or Scroll Blade. So it's gonna be interesting to see how, like, when Burton in concept art pulls out the Sound Hammer, or Ron pulls out the Skate Hammer, Emma pulls out the Skateboard, Lucy pulls out the Scrap Saber. So, like, eventually we're going to see that, which I think is really, really cute. And again, establishing, like, what they've already made. So they go through fighting, or Van, I should say, bodies Kappei with the trick ball. Even turns him into the little ice cream scoop. And of course the fight just gets interrupted at the end by Gumshi coming in and kind of just stops the fight. And this is where the main point of the episode comes in. We're kind of off the WNA Academy now, and we have the backstory to Kappei in this episode. So they've already, like, shown bits and pieces of Kappei's actual original anime episode from previous episodes of the Ninjala anime series, but this kind of, like, finishes that up, and we learn, obviously Kappei lives in Odeo, from what's established, and Gen Unsai runs a kendo dojo, which is Gen Ryusai's brother. Now, remember, they are both ninja descendants, but Gen Unsai tries to hide that from Kappei. So that's how Kappei knows so much with the sword, and we get some very interesting backstory with Genusai and Kappei, and it's just basically the rest of Kappei's original anime episode. But what I really find interesting about this anime episode is that when there's a knock on the door, okay? And there's a knock on the door, and then Ninja, I'm assuming of the Oniwa Banshu, come in because they have the red scarves on. I don't know if that's just to represent like an evil ninja in general, or just the ninjas of the Oniwa Banshu. But they kind of just knock on the door, and they go, "Are you Master Gen Unsai? Okay, die." That is like the most polite. Just here. Gen Unsai is like that old master in all the movies that is just so, like, he's so serious, it's funny.
伊賀の里の先祖の魂を鎮め現代の我々を見守ってくれるようお願いする祭りじゃ。
でも先祖ってやっぱ忍者？それが臭いな。
臭くないわ。というか、そもそも伊賀の里
Oh
の
my
忍
god,
者
he's
な
so
ど
funny.
おらん。村の
He's
者
so
が勝手
funny.
に作り上げた作り話や。今は黙って剣術の修行。
ごめんください。
お主ら何者じゃ。
元軍祭殿ですね。
いかにも何者じゃ。お主ら。
Whoa! With the cup!
お前らじいちゃん何するんだ。
Ooh, that was fast and fluid. So yeah, they do that. And obviously then it's revealed that Genusai's a ninja to Kappei here, and it follows the rest of Kappei's anime episode. And we even get the one shot that we got earlier in the anime episode where the door opens, Gumshi flies out, and you even get the same scene with Kappei saying the same lines and stuff like that. I actually think they reused it, if I'm not mistaken, because there's no changes in the shots or anything when they show Gumshi coming out of the little cabinet. And obviously the members of the Oniwa Banshu, if they are the Oniwa Banshu, are after Gumshi, because Gumshi came from a meteorite 100 years ago, and it has some significance. They don't really explain the significance too much in the episode. And that's where that came from. And that's how that scene came in.
なんか
おそらく地球上の生物ではないじゃろう。宇宙人かもしれん。
あ、よし、行くぜ。
I like that. And obviously this plays right into the original episode. A lot, but my god, they actually did, this is such a good way to do it. Really. The episode ends off on a really nice note too after Kappei's backstory, and you get you know, this really cool interaction between Emma, Kappei, and Van on the rooftop. They're watching the fireworks over Eagle City, and obviously the Academy's just off to the side of that, and it's just a really nice scene, a really nice way to establish the end of the episode. And they end off with Bert and Baraka, and they're like, yeah, we gotta get to the Academy again. So they really want to get to the Academy. And we are going to get that in the next episode. From the preview, it looks like, or what I've seen, they are going to manage to get to the Academy. But the star of the show's next episode are going to be Jane and Ron. They're under the stage.
夜通し打ち上がるのよ。ミーは毎年この花火フェスティバルを楽しみにしてるの。
お江戸でも夏に花火大会やってるぜ。かき氷とか。
And again, we're seeing character interactions that we haven't gotten to see yet. So
盆踊りっていうダンスがあるんでしょ。ミーも踊ってみたい。
いいぜ。今度教えてやるよ。
カッペイがエマにダンスを？そんなの無理無理。なんだと？なんだよ。なんだ。何？
私は求めるものを手に入れるまで決して諦めない。大勝負といきますか。
よしできた。あれ、あいつらこんな夜遅くにどこに行くんだ？次回忍者ら
infiltrating WNA HQ. Oh boy! Next episode's gonna focus around Jane. Now, this is an episode I've been looking forward to the most because Jane's episode in general is the one that I think is going to be has the one that's been heavily changed compared to how she's going to be a kid. We already know that Jane and Ron work for the Oniwa Banshu. They both do. They both work in the same building itself. They're both part of... Jane's part of the Infocom section. Ron is probably, like, you know, he's basically an undercover, like, turncoat, basically. Again, I think Ron's more of an anti-hero thing. But it's going to be interesting to see how they change Jane's episode up in the next one. Obviously, Jane will be able to get into the WNA database, but again, remember, she goes to download the data from the Ninja Gum lab that doesn't exist, because when Burton and Brecca turned in the kids, remember, all their research from the original lab was taken away, and that's not there anymore. So how is Jane going to be changing into a kid? What are they going to do? Are they going to establish it within the Oniwan Banshu's facility itself? I don't know. Are we gonna see Bob? Why the hell do you name a villain Bob? What? Bob is like the dude who tried to take out Jane in the original anime episode, but are we gonna see Bob? I don't know. That's why would you name him Bob? Yeah, I just think it was, I'm excited. I'm just excited to say it. I think they did a really big thing with this episode. They established, like, some more lore with what the WNA Academy actually does, how the student life, how the students actually go about life in the WNA Academy, obviously getting up sharp and everything like that. So, yeah, I think it was a really good episode. Again, not too much on the way of lore. I do think we are going to get, like, a big hit of lore next episode, because obviously Jane, being the hacker that she is, and then Burton and Brecca sneaking to the Academy is going to be, or sneaking into the WNA headquarters is going to be an interesting thing in its own right. Because I wonder if Jane's going to encounter kid forms of Burton and Brecca, or it'll be Ron who does it, and then that's how they turn into kids or something like that. But I don't know. I do think the next episode is going to be a bit more of a larger lore drop than what we had in this anime episode, because this anime episode kind of rehashed the rest of Kappei's story, like, in the latter half of the episode. But in the beginning, obviously, the WNA life and what happens as you go through the Academy days and how the actual days in the Academy happen. That's cool, and I like to see that, because it really builds on the world that Ninjala has created. It builds on, you know, the game's lore that we didn't know about, and stuff like that. So again, I think it was a really good episode. I didn't think there was too much off model. I think the voice acting was on point. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, because I absolutely enjoyed the episode. Let me know, of course, what your favorite part of the episode was down below. And I apologize for this video taking so long to get out. Again, I've just been super busy. But I want to thank you guys for sticking with me so long and going through the Ninjala anime episodes as we've done every week. It's gonna be weird when there's no more Ninjala anime episodes and I can't do anything with them. I guess we'll go back to making more Ninjala. We'll go back to doing in-game Ninjala content instead of reacting to the anime episodes. Or we'll rewatch the anime episodes. I don't even know. But, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, you guys already know what to do. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs this year. I mean, it's been a while since I've said that in a video. We got a long way to go. We're halfway there, though. We got 2,500. We got a bit of ways to go. But I think we can do it. So, yeah, I hope you guys, of course, all enjoyed one last time. I'm repeating myself kind of quite often today. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Have, you know, a great rest of your night. And until then, this is CJ Man 777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.